Good afternoon. It is the 15th of January, 2019. Today is Tuesday. Real quick, I played drums yesterday for the first time in 5 years. That felt pretty good. Had a meds evaluation this morning. We're going to do very slight adjustments. And driving is still continuing to be an issue. And I'm looking forward to the next week or so. We've got 3 significant snowstorms set to come through here. So I'm definitely a little worried about the amount I'll be able to be out on the road. But hey. Okay, today in history, we got a happy birthday to Martin Luther King Jr., born on this date in 1929. Not that he'll be able to hear me wish him a happy birthday, but you get the idea. This guy, if he died, the next one, he died fairly recently, within the last 5 years, which I think did happen. Anyway, 1941, born on this date. Happy birthday to Captain Beefheart. Can't say I'm a huge fan, but Captain Beefheart is a very unique American musician. Went to high school with Frank Zappa and worked with Zappa off and on in the late 60s and 70s. And for some reason, those two, even beyond that, are kind of tied together in the public's imagination, or the small part of the public that actually remembers them. All right, 1759, on this date, January 15th, the British Museum opens. That 1759, that's fairly early, but Britain's out there. Have they already plundered Egypt yet, and ancient Greece? If not, they're about to, maybe just to fill up their brand new British Museum. In 1889, in the city of Atlanta, Georgia, USA, Coca-Cola Corp. is incorporated. So happy birthday, Coca-Cola. 1892, James Nesmith publishes the rules of basketball. I got nothing else to add on that at all. 1965, The Who released their first single in the United Kingdom called I Can't Explain. It's definitely a song that I know and am very familiar with. The Who is definitely one of those bands that defined rock for quite a while. In fact, I've heard a few people say that The Who was the first rock band, or moving away from rock and roll, if you will. But certainly they're one of the pioneers of my favorite riff-based rock music. On this date in 1967, the first Super Bowl was held. It was in Los Angeles, and it was between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Green Bay Packers. And the Packers won that, and I believe the next one, too. So the Super Bowl is a thing that started in 1967. And on this date, in 2001, Wikipedia first debuted online. And that's where I got my information from, so at least that one should be correct. There's one thing that I skipped, and I wanted to talk a little bit about this. On this date in 1919 was the Great Molasses Flood. This is one of my favorite little footnotes in history. I'll just go ahead and give you the opening Wikipedia paragraph here. But if it sounds interesting or intriguing or just plain odd, I would suggest looking into it and finding some of the pictures for it. The Great Molasses Flood, it's also been known as the Boston Molasses Flood or the Great Boston Molasses Flood, happened today in 1919. This was in the North End neighborhood of Boston, Massachusetts, USA. What happened is a large storage tank that had 2.3 million gallons, which comes out to 8,706 tons of molasses burst. A wave of molasses flooded through the streets at an estimated 35 miles per hour. Now, for the rest of the world that's on the metric system, that's 56 kilometers an hour. Now, I'm smiling and I'm laughing, and everybody involved at that point would be dead by now. But on a serious side, this molasses flood actually did kill 21 people and injured a further 150. Of course, this event entered local folklore, and for decades after that, residents claimed that they could still smell the molasses on hot summer days. Something similar to this happened fairly recently. I think it was a jam flood or something, but it was just a tanker that had turned over. I don't remember the details, but I do remember it brought to mind the Great Molasses Flood, and that happened today. All right, we're 6 minutes into this, which is about where I would like to end it. Just going to make a little mental and public note here that I'll probably start doing these a bit more in the afternoon local time, just so that I don't have that worry about rushing out of the house and saving my data as I upload. So until I get the system that I can do it directly on my computer, we should expect afternoons, but I do plan on keep doing this. All right, well, thank you so much for anybody that happened to watch, and I will talk to me later. Bye-bye.